Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. Man, I'm so glad that you've decided to join us again today. We're going to continue our conversation about leaders and the importance of leaders understanding their family, especially their family of origin. And I have some family history questions because we talked about how important it is to know our family history. We got started that conversation. I got some great news I want to share with you today. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and share, and stick around as we continue to unbox how leaders can lead. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. All right. Well, welcome back again. So glad to have you, man. So I'm in Alabama. That's one of the reasons why you're not seeing my video on the screen. You're just seeing the audio avatar. And the reason for that is because I'm at my mother's house and she would fuss at me galore if I was to put her home on the thing. She has a beautiful home, but she's my mom. Let's just leave it right there. With that being said, today I had a tremendous opportunity. In this room, I had my aunt, my uncle, my father, and my mother. And I got an opportunity to learn some tremendous things about my family. So I told you before, I think I shared with you before, that my grandfather's grandfather was a slave. Well, today I found out what was the name of my grandfather's grandfather, which is my great-great-grandfather. I found out that his name was Joseph. And I found out that his wife's name was Hattie, which is the exact same name as my aunt, who was at the home today, sharing all of this history with me. Man, it was tremendous. So I talked to you about the fact that we have our emotional computers pre-programmed by generations that come before us. And then, of course, those programs are tweaked by, what communities we're raised in, the culture, and different things of that nature. And then, of course, our various life experiences, whether we have some traumatic life experiences or whether we have to overcome certain adversities, it continues to modify it. But the major player, the thing that really sets and determines how you function in relationships is your family of origin. And so I'm going to share with you, we're going to do this over the next couple of days. I'm going to share with you a series of questions that every leader needs to understand about their family. Because how are you going to know about the history of your organization, know about each of the team members on your team, and know about the board and how it functions, and know about each of your colleagues and what their likes and dislikes and how to, improve your interaction with them, and you don't understand your family of origin and why you function the way you do in various relationships, your home relationships, your workplace relationships, your church relationships. Remember, we're here to unbox the power and the potential of all relationships. So I'm going to give you some questions today, and I'm going to come back and give you some more questions tomorrow. As you can tell, I am kind of amped up because there's just, and those of you who have done the 23andMe, or who have, or you and your family have done real genealogical research, you know that there's a certain amount of, I don't know what the word is, pride and awe when you understand who your family is. Like, wow. And when you see pictures and you're like, man, that person looks just like this, and you're connecting all the dots together, it is a phenomenal experience. And just doing that, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go into those questions. I'm going to give you 6 of them today, and I'll give you 7 of them tomorrow. Okay, so you're going to need to probably pause and rewind and watch this a second time to get all of the questions, but I'm going to share them with you. But doing that research on your family is perhaps one of the greatest things in developing you as a leader. Doing research on your family and understanding your family is perhaps one of the greatest things to develop you as a leader. There are 3 things in particular. I'm not going to share them with you. I'm just going to talk about this one right now. Knowing your family, there's 2 other things, but right now, just knowing your family is so important in developing you as a leader. And you really cannot reach your full potential as a leader until you really understand your family. Remember what the old saying is, by their fruits we know them, but by their roots, we understand them. By our fruits, the things we do, we know ourselves, but by our roots, we really understand ourselves. Okay, so now, yesterday I talked about the importance of writing out your family tree, at least for 3 generations. Okay, now I got my family tree written out. What are the questions? Here we go. Drum roll, please. Let's get started. Here are the questions. Question number 1. I want you to begin to really ask yourself and to get the answers to these questions. What is the story of how your parents and grandparents met and decided to start a family? These are the type of things that I talk about when I'm going through coaching with my with leaders and executives. What is the story about how your parents and grandparents met and decided to start a family? Another question that you've got to ask is, did any family members object to your parents or grandparents' relationship? Was anyone excluded from or refused to attend their weddings? Number 3, besides being pregnant, what significant life circumstances occurred around the time of the birth of each child? Was there a move? Did anybody die? Was there, a financial, inheritance? Kind of like, what was going on around the time that each child was born? And as you do this, you may not understand why these questions are important right now, but as you actually do this exercise and you ask yourself and you begin to answer this, you're going to begin, just because you're a leader, that's what leaders do. You're going to begin to see patterns. That's what leaders see. They see it in their organizations. You're going to see patterns in your family, and you're going to be like, whoa, I can't believe that. Now I have a better understanding of the me that makes me me and why I do what I do the way I do it. So here are 3 questions right there you just had. Let me give you 3 more, then we're going to close it out. The next 3 that I want to say is number 4. How did number 4, and this my computer decides now it wants to act crazy, so there we go. How did the family of origin adapt to the birth of each child? How did the family of origin adapt to the birth of each child? Question number 5. What were the reasons and circumstances around each child leaving the home? And let me talk about a little bit about what I mean by that. Some children leave the home because, they get a job, or they go off to the military, they go off to college. Some children leave the home because they fall out with their parents. It's a big blow up. And, there's sometimes years before they even speak again. So, I want you to think about what were the reasons and circumstances around each child leaving the home, and then going through each generation. This is number 6, and the last one I'm going to give you today. Going through each generation, what is the nature of the parent-child relationship? And that's one of the reasons I wanted you to put out each and every single name, because you may say, there's a very strong relationship between my parents and their firstborn, but there's a very hostile relationship between my parent and their secondborn. And if you do that through each generation, you'll be like, hold on, I noticed something. The firstborn in each generation really, leaves the family on hostile terms. They end up going missing for years and not speaking. And you'll be like, wow, that's crazy, because it's on both my mother and father's side. Again, the lights will start to go off. And you also notice some very constructive things. And we're going to talk about some constructive things you're going to pick up tomorrow. But you'll even know, like, wow, I noticed that each of the people left our home because they went off to school or they went off to the military. It was a very healthy way that they transitioned out of the family. The family was very supportive when they left the home, those type of things. And that's really going to help you. Those 6 questions right there, and I got 7 more for you tomorrow. I have a lot more that I actually do in executive coaching, but I'm only going to give you because you're not paying me. You're not paying me, so you only get 7. But if you check out our website and learn more about UnBoxed and all the things that we do, go to our website and or email us and check out all the wonderful services that UnBoxed provides. But we go through a lot more in depth to help individuals to understand their family as it relates to how they function in relationships and how they function as a leader. Listen, I'm so glad that you joined us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Check out our website. And guess what? I'm going to see you next time. Until then, take care.
Seasoned with Grace, UnBoxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.